morning in Leeds, and welcome to the Every Bus vlog. Tackling 6 requested routes today, we are off to Middleton. And I apologise in advance, the buses had really bad windows today. Ice and dirt made the footage pretty bad. We'll do what we can. 6 routes in one go seems like a big ask, and it is. This is going to be a 2-parter. You see, the thing about these 6 routes is that they're all interconnected. They share 2 major routes, and then branch off from those 2 routes in different ways. So, rather than split them by number, I'm going to divide them into northern and southern halves and cover them all together. The map is confusing. In fact, I'm going to split it into 2 maps. There is a knack to understanding it, but let's look at the southern half first. The 3 and 3A are the same route south of Leeds, heading down Dewsbury Road. They also share most of their route with the 2, which branches off to go to Middleton. This part of the route between Leeds and Dewsbury Road through Beeston Hill, I don't need to ride it at all. I've already done it on the Huddersfield buses, which is going to make the geometry of covering the area a whole lot easier. The 13 and 13A share the vast majority of their routes with each other, and also with the 12, which branches off to go to the White Rose. Between Middleton and Belle Isle, there are some minor differences, but since we've already explored most of Middleton, with the notable exception of Middleton Circus, I'm just going to ride one and call it good. I don't feel the need to get more of a feel for the routes there. Some of the landmarks on the map will be familiar if you've watched the channel from the beginning. Middleton to Leeds via Belle Isle and Hunslet also accurately describes the number 75. But this is a more direct route, straight down the middle. There's actually very little in common with the 75. Looking at the second part of the map now, north of Leeds. We won't be riding this part today. That'll be next time. The 6 routes come together in Leeds and then diverge again onto 2 main routes. The single-digit routes continue pretty much straight north via Chapeltown. The double-digit routes take a slightly more circuitous route northeast via Oakwood. The routes meet up at one of 3 points in Gledo to form 3 circular routes with the lot in common. To explain the code, the first digit, or absence thereof, tells you whether you're going up Dewsbury Road and Harrogate Road or through Hunslet and Oakwood. Then it's the second digit and the letter, or not, which tells you which of the 3 ways you're going through Gledo: the 212, 313, and the 3A13A. Meanwhile, at the southern end, if there's a 3 in the route, you terminate at the southern end nearby. If there's a 2 in the route, you cross over and terminate at the other southern terminus via one of 2 connecting routes. Clear as mud, right? It'll make more sense as we ride it. Possibly. I can't promise that. I have already rode the route between Leeds and the White Rose via Dewsbury Road, so I'm starting on the 13A. A 2-digit number means we're going via Hunslet and Belle Isle, and the 3 means we're not crossing over but terminating at Middleton, Thorpe Lane specifically. The first major destination is Hunslet, which we covered in episode 3. A little further on, we go under the A road, and as you may expect, there's a bunch of shops and local services clustered there. I understand the little area is known as Hunslet Car. Not 1 but 2 convenience stores next to each other, one of which used to be a Bookies. I'm not entirely sure why the new owners felt the need to open a brand new convenience store next door to an established and generally well-reviewed convenience store. In any case, we keep on going. In episode 3 I said we'd be back here, and now here we are passing by Belle Isle Circus. We stopped to admire the views then, now let's look at the local services. There's the post office, which doubles as a convenience store. There's a barber, a cafe, a takeaway, and, the highlight for me, a chippy. Unfortunately, the chippy hadn't opened yet, so I had to keep moving. There are other shops, but they seem to be scattered all over the residential areas, which is impossible to film in a vlog like this. Staying on the bus, down to Middleton we go. From here, it's a relatively short hop, just 10 minutes on the bus. We get to ride through Middleton proper again. We were last through here on the number 9. I went all the way to the terminus at Thorpe Lane, but, as you might be able to see, there wasn't much there to speak of, so I decided I would double back and go up to Middleton Circus. Before I did, I was able to get this very moody clip that I really like. At Middleton Circus they have considerably more shops and services. A couple of supermarkets, a butcher, a handful of convenience stores, a couple of cafes, a Greggs, a couple of pharmacies. Basically a little compact town centre right here. Until recently there was also an Aldi, which has moved down near the Big Asda in a newly opened retail park. Apparently there's a few teething troubles down there though, so I think I'll stay up this end. Now for my shortest ride of the day, the number 12, and I'm riding this one only as far as Dewsbury Road. We take a pretty direct route, in that the route is both direct and pretty. Unfortunately, thanks to the state of the windows, there's not much to see today, so let's skip ahead to where I got off. Tommy Was Junction, I'm told this is called, because of the titular pub on the corner. There's actually quite a lot here, and a short walk from here there's even an Asda superstore. But I'm going to double back on myself again here, and tick off the other crossover route on the number 2. There's a bit of a problem at the bus shelter. It's totally iced up. So you can either see the screen that shows you when the next bus is due, or you can see the buses actually arriving. And not both. Sure enough though, not too long of a wait for the number 2, I'm back on the road again. The number 2 starts the same way as the 12, but we're going to the Thorpe Lane terminus where the 13s go, so we turn off and pick our way through a housing estate. One thing to note about this housing estate, I don't think you can actually see it on the video, is that the yellow bus stop boxes are unusually long. The logical explanation is that at some point this route was served by bendy buses. I did look around a fair bit, I even asked the driver, but I wasn't able to find any information on that. Apparently it comes in really happy on school runs, letting 2 buses serve the stop at the same time. And the number 2 is quite a frequent service, so bus bunching is far from unheard of. But I'll leave it here on board the number 2. So remember to check out the Patreon, do all the YouTube engagement nonsense that I'm supposed to say here, and whatever else, don't forget to thank your driver. Next time, we arrive at Thorpe Lane, and we head north.